Hello, and welcome to a cross-venue scene for Werewolf and Mage. Today, Alicia is busy making a whole bunch more dog biscuits, and Jericho has let her know that he's going to come over. She has also made some cookies. They were pleasant.
Let's see. How's Jericho walking into this particular scene? Well, looks a bit more rough around the edges. This January weather isn't to his particular liking, at least this sleet. This heavy sleet, or that heavy wind chill that sort of whips around the entire city with nowhere to go but over and over again in this one particular spot, over and over and over again. Tiny bit infuriating, but as soon as Jericho makes his way to the Gramercy Park, things just sort of chill. Things are sort of more placid and calm and the like. It's a much different atmosphere from the rest of the city, I'll tell you what. And eventually, Jericho goes ahead and makes his way through the weather to the apartment that he knows of as Alicia's, and just gives it a right tapping, a tapping at her chamber door.
The door's open.
Jericho will just go ahead and crack it open, start to walk inside, sort of yell out, "Hey, I'm here."
Hi, Jericho.
Hey, Alicia, how you doing today?
I'm doing okay. And you'll see that there are rather a lot of dog biscuits. Or at least
Jericho.
you might assume they're dog biscuits because they are bone-shaped and smell of cheese or meat rather than the kind of sweeter flavors that people would associate with dog biscuits. With biscuits, rather.
And Jericho, for his part, is going to go ahead and lay the magical murder bag in the entryway, and go ahead and rifle through it a little bit until he comes across a pile of documents bound in a vanilla folder. Extract it, go ahead and walk over to the coffee table, leave it over there, before actually walking behind Alicia and just making a dog biscuit behind her back.
She'll let him take a dog biscuit if he wants one, but she will say, there are kind of people cookies over there.
Goes ahead and looks at it. So this isn't for this isn't for consumption. Like I don't get to eat it.
You can if you want, but it is liver flavored.
What does liver taste like?
Meat.
Have you
Not the
ever eaten it before?
tastiest of meat, but meat.
Hmm?
You can eat it if you want. There's nothing in it that would be harmful for a person.
Uh, Jericho goes ahead and thinks twice about eating dog biscuits, actually, and just puts it on the tray. No, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
And Alicia will pull out the cookie jar and hold it out to Jericho.
Jericho will get caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
So how are things?
Um, Things are, I don't know, a bit rough at the moment. We got a guest over at the at my chantry, anyways. A guest that we didn't really invite, but have no choice but to let stay, at least for a few days.
That sounds inconvenient.
Bitch went through my wall. Literally, through my wall.
Well, that I take it you're going to need new masonry then.
It's like, maybe not physical masonry, maybe like bit of the primal element or maybe some spirit stuff. But no. It kind of started with a lot of scratching in my wall. I thought it was behind the wall. Lucky me, it wasn't. It was all coming from inside the house. Um, a few of us had actually gathered over to talk about some other business. Uh, Myself, the intern, Miss Charlotte, so when it came, we were all kind of prepared for it. We were all bracing ourselves against the doorway of reality, at least on that particular wall. And it just kept going and going and going, kicking down that door as much as possible, until eventually it snakes like one thing through, like an arm that's holding like this chess piece. So I myself thinking that that chess piece, the thing that's giving her the power to break through my freaking wards, go ahead and try to snake it out of her. And that's when I sort of realized that all the chaos around me wasn't really all worth the effort, and that I should just simply go with the flow. And the flow told me that I should bring this arm and the person behind it actually into my home. So I did. Afterwards, I made sure that she wouldn't be going anywhere anytime soon. Not that I had to do much work about it. She was in an exhausted state. She gave me this story, this long-winded story about how she's been trapped in another realm, how she's been fighting for her life, how she's been, escaped, how she has escaped from that hell pit, and how she's still looking for her friends. I don't care. It's not my particular problem. But I think my conscience got the better of me, so I let her. So I lent her out a room, at least my room. So for the next few days, I am going to be either sleeping on the couch, not sleeping, working in the basement, or homeless.
Right. Do you want somewhere else to sleep?
I guess so. What are you offering then?
Well, I kind of go between here and the verbena chantry.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I am here, it's not exactly hard to curl up on the sofa in lupus form and not have to worry about like feet going over the end. So if you wanted to sleep here, you could.
Yeah, I could grab the couch. I've been couch surfing before.
Well, like I said, I fit on the couch better when I'm in lupus form than a person does. So I
That
don't
might
mind.
be that might be true, Alicia, but Jericho goes ahead and settles his hands on her waist. I'd like you better, Hamid.
Okay, but that doesn't change the fact that you would be uncomfortable on the couch in Homid form.
Well, it's just I don't want to take you away from your big, comfy, luxury bed. I woke up there the last time I slept over. I swore that I was just laying on the couch.
Yeah, you kind of you went to sleep and you your feet were kind of over the end and you looked a bit uncomfortable, and I know what it's like when you do end up going to sleep on the couch and you wake up with your back all achy and so forth. So I just kind of moved you.
So you moved me in order to make me more comfortable.
Yeah.
Hmm, fair dues. What's been happening
There,
in your life then? Jericho's gonna go ahead and walk over to the couch and just sit on it, cookie in hand.
and Alicia's going to come and sit next to him. And Travis has been telling me some worrying things about some of the other werewolves.
About what then?
Well, one of them seems to like waving a gun around for some unknown reason.
What?
I mean, seriously, Wigaru, unless it's like 100 meters away, you can do more damage without the gun. And you're less likely to accidentally shoot people you don't want to shoot. I don't know, I haven't met him yet. Maybe there's a good reason. But honestly, I just don't like guns.
Unfortunately, they are a necessity at some times.
No, I get that. But I've never really liked them. It's not even so much the guns, it's the kind of people that like guns. Like you said, sometimes they're a necessity. If you need them to do stuff, I mean, that's not so much an issue for the Garou because, as I said, unless they're like 100 foot away, you can probably get there fairly quickly and then do quite a lot. But viewing them as a necessity is different to liking them. They're a tool like anything else. So I don't really see them as a bad thing. It's just the attitudes that people have about them worries me sometimes.
I can't really speak much about that particular. Well, I could speak a lot about that particular matter, but I don't really want to. Um, it's a weapon. It kills people.
Precisely. So, you know, you use it to fight bad things, that's fine. You wave it around because you're having an argument with someone and you don't like the way that they think, that's a completely different matter.
No, no, no. Just don't. You really don't want to do that. Just here's the thing. It's a weapon. Now, as I understand it, a whole bunch of other supernaturals have their own way of dealing with whatever lethality comes out of that weapon. But it is a weapon. Don't only take a weapon and point it at somebody if you're really willing to use it. There's no need otherwise.
Unfortunately, he was quite willing to use it. Not that it really makes a great difference on who he used it on, but that kind of makes it more of a reason not to go waving it around for no apparent reason. Because if it's not going to do any serious damage to the people that you are planning to use it on, and you don't plan on it you doing serious damage, but it can do serious damage to other people that are just wandering around, why is it worth that risk?
So you're more worried. Where was he waving this gun around again? Please don't tell me it was in public.
I don't think so. Not entirely. Not really. I think it was around kinfolk, but they don't really count. I don't know. I wasn't there. It's just I'm a little concerned about that attitude. But I'm concerned about that attitude even if they weren't Gary.
All I can say is, actually, I don't have much to say other than I grew up around guns. I grew around up a rifle and a shotgun, and I know that they're very much a killing weapon. You don't take that weapon out unless you're meaning to use it. I've done it for hunting. I've done it for game. I've seen it used to protect lives once or twice before, but that was mostly in an officer's hand, and not necessarily in the hands of a madman. In the hands of the madman, it's a very, very brutal lesson.
Yeah, so, it doesn't matter who it is or what they are. You don't go just waving it around for no apparent reason. Now, admittedly, like I said, I wasn't there. I don't know if there was a good reason. There might have been a good reason, but I don't think there was. But I'll have to talk to him about that and see what he says.
Fair dues, fair dues. Oh yeah.
Just one
So
more reason to avoid going near Central Park, I guess.
oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't have enough reasons. Thank you for this one, Alicia. Thank you. I didn't have enough reasons to avoid Central Park. No, 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 no. This was the one thing that kept me out of going Central Park. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Alicia, for enlightening me about this nonsense. Thank you. Fangs, claws, big killing machines. No, no, no. I was all ready to face that, but again, my only weakness.
Well, at least the fangs and the claws wouldn't go hurting you by accident.
True
It would
enough.
be entirely on purpose.
Fair enough. I called you up today because I went digging a little bit into our into that kid that we found a few days ago while you guys were hunting for a totem.
Oliver, yeah.
Yeah,
Chases the Storm is
Oliver.
looking after him.
Mm-hmm. Good for him. Oliver James. Okay. I was looking through missing persons reports, and it didn't seem like any recent cases going back a year or so ago actually pinged any good leads. They gave the name of Oliver, but the descriptions were all off from what I could see. I went ahead and extended my search back about 10 years, and I actually got a hit. It's
Okay.
Jericho goes ahead and starts to open the vanilla envelope and starts to pass Alicia a few documents that he had found. It's an article about 9 years ago. There's a mention of a Penelope James reporting her son missing. I
Okay.
believe that is our child.
Well, it's going to be quite hard to explain why he's still 6, apparently.
I don't have a really good excuse to explain it other than some kind of Rip Van Winkle effect.
Now, I get that it's probably the same kid. I'm just trying to figure out a way we can kind of deal with that.
Well, if you want to go about asking this Penelope woman about her son, by all means, do so.
Well, I will let Chasers the Storm know, but if we can't think of a way to tell her that he's okay without breaking the veil, it might be kinder to just not bring it back up.
It's entirely up to you how you deal with this situation. I said I would look into it. I did. This is my information.
Thank you.
No, Alicia, really, thank you. No, really, I mean it.
For what?
It's kind of hard to explain. Jericho goes ahead and leans back on the couch.
She looks kind of curious, but she doesn't say anything because she's waiting to see what he wants to say.
Jericho goes ahead and starting to just stare up at the ceiling for a little bit, start to think deeply to himself, and he simply goes, "You know, I've had a change in perspective over the last few months."
Okay. I Well, I guess I didn't know you before the last few months, so I wouldn't know, but yeah, I can understand that. I've changed my perspective a whole lot the last few months.
I guess I can say that I've learned to deal with a lot of things, mostly where I come from, and mostly uh, the tradition and my own little garden that I started off with. Somebody told me a very, very wise thing, very, very enlightening thing to me a few weeks ago. She went ahead and told me, you cannot choose where you are born, and you cannot choose where you are planted.
And Alicia will nod. Did
So,
a tree say that? Because
uh,
it can be
yeah,
quite wise sometimes.
yes, a tree did say that. A very, very important tree to me. There's always been this voice, this constant nagging, this constant anxiety around me. Manifested itself in a few different spirits following me around. They say a lot, but they can't do anything. But the one voice just keeps dragging me down and down and down. I think it's trying to enlighten me. The only thing it really does is color my world completely bleak and gray and black. More recently, I've been hearing about this other voice, this tree, this wise old tree that pretty much just told me straight off that this wasn't my fault, that this voice would be with me. This is where I would start, but I could just go anywhere else. I could grow, take whatever that voice was saying and either use it or ignore it.
Alicia will nod, but she doesn't interrupt. She's listening to what you're saying and kind of agreeing.
And I like to think it's because of you.
Be- because of me?
Of course.
Um, what the tree talked to you because of me, or something else?
Alicia, You're a very, very special person in my life. You came in the exact right moment. You didn't judge, you didn't push, just ask questions. Let me say what I needed to say. You would make a really good counselor.
Thank you. I'm glad I could help. I guess everyone kind of needs someone to talk to, and if you couldn't talk to any of the other people, I'm just glad you could talk to me.
Come over here.
Okay. And she'll kind of shuffle a little bit closer.
Jericho's just going to go ahead and lean back, wrap his arms around Alicia.
And she'll kind of go with it. She's but she's not entirely confident of what is happening. So she's just kind of she's continuing listening, and she's kind of patting one of the arms that is wrapped around her a bit slightly awkwardly, because this is quite far outside of what she is used to.
Jericho goes ahead and gives a big breath simply because this is something of a big step, and he simply says, "Now, why do you want me to have your bed? Not you. I could definitely have this couch."
Well, like I said, I can go and sleep in the verbena chantry if I particularly need to have a bed, and I can, well, if I'm in lupus form, I can curl up smaller than Ahmed can, and the couch will be comfier then.
But you would definitely leave me alone in this place.
Well, you kind of need some space to get away from the stuff that has been happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I can help you have that, then that's good.
But you don't want to stay here with me.
Um, she's going to look very awkward. Very awkward. And there will be quite a bit of blushing, and she's not actually looking at your face at this point. Well, I mean, we're friends and everything, but I don't really kind of know what what do you mean with you?
Alicia, have you never had a relationship?
Uh, one or two, but they kind of They were a bit more. Well, it didn't really go very well.
Tell me about
And
it then.
that was before I moved in here, so
Tell me about it. Why didn't it work out? Or why wasn't it what you thought it would be?
the thing is, even even before my change, I could feel something different. And I mean, I didn't know how different, and I thought that maybe it was just in my head, but I could feel it. And sometimes when you want to fit in, you'll try and be someone you're not, and you'll find someone that wants you to be someone you're not, and you'll try and be that person, but you can't be that person, and it doesn't tend to go very well.
And what about after you moved here and the change? Still have those feelings?
Well, after the change, I was getting to know Andre, but that can't happen. And it's probably for the best because we want like completely different things, and we're better. We're a lot better as friends than we would be as a couple, I think. And that was a bit hard, but it's not really been anything else.
I don't understand when you say that you couldn't be with him. All I hear is you're putting up roadblocks between yourself and other people.
Well, there's kind of rules about werewolves and other werewolves.
But since then, you must have had a fancy for somebody.
A little.
A little. Jericho goes ahead and takes one of his hands and actually goes to your ribcage and tickles a little bit. A little?
And she'll squirm slightly.
Why don't you go after this? Why didn't you go after this somebody then?
I don't know. It's just I don't really know much about this kind of stuff.
What's there to know?
Well, I mean, how would you even have the slightest idea of if someone was kind of liked you back, and what what do you even do about it? And it's all
You get in the habit of doing all you can to make sure that they feel comfortable, that all their needs are met. Meanwhile, you just quietly be quiet and let them be all comfortable. Let them go ahead and have a wonderful time, but never really, really say what you want to say. Because you know if you say that one thing, it would change the entire relationship.
Kinda. Though most of the first half I kind of do anyway with most people.
Imagine this. Imagine you could say anything. I wasn't even around. I'm not even in this room right now. If you could say anything without any repercussions, without any of it being taken seriously, what would you say?
I don't know.
You don't know. Jericho's going to go ahead and arrange himself a little bit differently on the couch, just so that whatever little small space they have, Jericho doesn't really care. He'll be sliding off the couch, just holding on by dear life with a hand and a foot, looking at Alicia side by side. And if Alicia's not looking at him, Jericho will go ahead and take a free hand, sort of tilt her head so that their eyes are meeting.
And she'll reluctantly kind of meet his gaze.
Jericho will lean in, but not to her, more to her forehead. Place a small little peck right there.
And she'll let him, and she's kind of watching him, and it's very much a deer in headlights look.
His lips
Which,
will go ahead and
given that he has seen her Krynos form, probably comes off rather odd.
Jericho, for his part, goes ahead and trails from the forehead to the nose. There's a tiny little speck. To one side of her cheek, actually. And then just sort of stops right there.
And she's going to turn her head slightly, just so that their noses brush against one another. And she's looking right into his eyes. And it's that kind of a frozen moment, and it's almost like she's holding her breath.
Jericho will actually meet her nose with his nose just for a second. A playful little Eskimo kiss before planting his own lips on hers.
And almost as if that kind of broke the spell, she will actually be kissing back slightly forcefully.
Well, Jericho will go ahead and let her have her fun.
I don't mean open mouthed, more that she is pressing back, and there is the slightest touch of just the very slightest touch of desperation, and not being entirely confident of herself in this.
Oh, Jericho will just go ahead and let her have at it. Jericho's going to move with her now. Jericho wants to go ahead and feel her build up her confidence for this thing. This thing she probably doesn't know a lot about. Up to you how much you want to continue this.
I think if we end the scene there, there will probably be a bit more kissing and some cuddling up on the sofa, but I doubt it will go much further than that. At least at that point.
Fair enough. Up to you. If you would like to give us an outro.
Mhm. And so yeah, after a bit of kissing and canoodling on the sofa, they will snuggle up, cuddly, watching probably something silly like whatever's on the telly, like Futurama or something. And there, the scene will end because this is going on YouTube, and you creepy people do not get to know what goes on in Alicia's love life. Thank you very much.